Hi, Laura Wansek here. I'm going to do a walkthrough of my Story Camp album, and it's in one of Ali Edwards' new storybook albums, and they're just very, very, very high quality. I can't stress that enough. They're very, very nice. Definitely different than a lot of the albums that are on the market right now. They're very I don't know, it's kind of like the Rolls Royce, I feel like, of albums. So my album has about 60 pages in it. These are pretty thick. But I don't have a lot of thick embellishment, so that might be why I was able to fit so many page protectors in it. But it starts out with this sort of arrangement that I did with some of the cute things they had there. Peonies were used to decorate, and they're just absolutely beautiful. And then these cute little tags. So I arranged these and took this picture. And then I started the album by writing a letter to my daughter about why I was going on this trip. So this trip was really a big experience for me because I hadn't flown in 10 years. I'd never been away from my daughter before for more than one day. And that was only like one or two times for a couple hours. It was a couple hours away. So this was a big deal for me. So it was kind of cool because the Brave kit came out a month before I left. And I used it to tell the story. And I use a lot of different story kits in this album. I think I need to count, but I've used a lot. And worked out really perfectly. So then I just put a little snapshot of the budget that I had for this trip. I earned all of the money for this trip from crafting, which was kind of cool. I had been saving the money that I'd been earning, and I wasn't really sure why. And then Story Camp happened, and definitely it was meant to be. So, and flying was something for me that I was anxious about. I hadn't flown, like I said, in 10 years, and was going really far from my daughter, so I thought I was going to be freaking out, but it actually ended up to be really fun, and I was excited, and now I want to fly all over the world. So, but I think my favorite thing about digital products, I know I've said this in other videos because it's just so true, is the way you can change the colors. So the idea that I can grab blues from pictures to make everything tie together, I feel like makes my pages look a lot better. Like this used to be yellow, but I grabbed pink from my shirt for it, and it makes me love my pages because of the way that they're kind of, I don't know, cohesive. Is that the right word? Did screenshotting of texting with my husband. I had been saving these plain transparencies from a kit from Ali Edwards a long time ago, knowing I was going to fly someday, and I did end up using them. It was a beautiful flights going into Eugene, and just all of my flights were just very great and beautiful scenery. And this is when I arrived that first night. And then the next morning I just wandered around Eugene by myself, which was really cool, and kind of like my friend called it a soul searching trip, because I was just sort of I don't know, rediscovering this part of myself that likes to explore, I guess, to wander, to be alone. That was the other thing, to kind of be with myself and be comfortable. And it was really cool. Voodoo donuts are very delicious. This is the hotel. And then on my sort of magical walk around Eugene, I just saw lots of cool things, like the sign, and just lots of really neat stuff. It did feel like a magical soul-searching trip. And these are just like little snippets of things around town, the newspaper, lots of cool little shops. And this little guide to downtown Eugene fit perfectly in there, and then little ephemera pieces. This bracelet that I bought that I loved, and then I lost it. I was like, I got back to the hotel and it was gone, so I think it just fell off because it was a little too loose, so I went and bought another one because I liked it that much. This bag I super loved, and I was like, oh, it's $70, so I just took a picture of it. I thought, well, now I own it in photo form. And these are all of the souvenirs that I got for people. And I roomed with Brandy Kincaid, which was a total honor and really, really cool. And I thought it was kind of fun that I included some of her artwork in the album. Like she designed that and that. And so it was kind of fun to put pages together like this. This is me out to dinner with her, and then she designed that. So I thought that was really cool. And then of course I use a lot of Ali Edwards stuff. throughout this album. There's a lot of thoughtfulness put into Story Camp and the way that they decorate and the gifts you get and just everything, and the presentations, everything. And so capturing those kinds of details was really important to me. And I got to be part of an Instagram story, which was fun, so I screenshotted that. And journaling about the experience and how powerful the workshops were. And then the handouts that we got, I just folded over and put them in here. I feel like that'll be the easiest way to remember where they are. Just grab the album if I need to reference them. We did a lot of free writes and journaling activities, so I just put all of those by the handout. This pastry, so good. Marche or Marche, I don't know how to pronounce it, catered the event, and it was very, very yummy. This is Allie helping me with one of my layouts, and something really cool about this was as she was helping me, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, I wish I had a picture of this, but I didn't want to interrupt the moment for a photo. And then my friend Sarah, who was at the table, just like she read my mind, started taking pictures, and I thought, this is exactly why I love these people. It's just like they get me. And this quote from Kelly Ishmael is like my favorite thing. She was talking about how great it is to be surrounded by people that share this passion, and she said it makes you feel free to get your freak on, and I was like, that is exactly right. So, the whole thing was just really cool. Seeing Allie's albums in person was very cool. That spread in particular, I remember when I saw it online, I was just like, oh, she's a freaking genius. So I was excited to take a picture of that one in particular. And shots of Brandy working with a little quote from her. And I asked the brand manager that was there to take some photos of me working, which I'm thankful that I did, because I really like these photos of the table and just kind of me and my element working. This super cute card from Brandy. Oh, I love that. Then I made this page while I was there. It was one of the assignments, so I thought I would just put it in there since it's sort of part of this experience. And these are from a store next to the hotel where Allie actually got her engagement ring. I liked all of the quotes. And these are some very funny photos that I don't remember who took them of the people I went out to dinner with, but more Brandy art. Everybody with their 6x8 photos. This is all the free stuff we got. Amazing, right? And this Sunday morning, we had a creative team breakfast, and this is one of my favorite memories because, so they brought voodoo donuts, and then of course everybody starts photographing them, and then we started photographing each other, photographing them. And at one point I was photographing Sarah, who was photographing Pam, photographing the donuts, and I just thought that was so funny because, again, I just feel like they totally get me. Also, the best donut is the Butterfinger one, if you ever go to Voodoo. That's my opinion. Then Jess interviewing Allie for the podcast, for her Pocket Talk podcast, I think it's called. And Jess did I think it was Jess, I can't remember. Somebody did an Instagram story, and Jess was running back and forth in front of us with the word story. It was very funny. Another cool flower arrangement. And then this is heading home, so talking about, what that was like, and then my post on social media about it, and we had a delay. And again, a friend offered to take this photo for me. Well, I asked her to take a photo, and then she took another one of me talking to the ticket agent, which I was really appreciative of. I just love being around people that care about it as much as I do. I actually used this card twice because it worked, and I thought, there aren't any rules. I can do what I want. A really magical moment was when when the plane was leaving Eugene, and it was kind of overcast, and then it cut through the clouds, and then all of a sudden there was just this blue sky and this like white blanket of clouds, and it was just very, very unexpected and beautiful, and kind of just like the trip. So I wrote about that here. Then my layover in San Francisco, and seeing someone I saw on my last flight. There was a guy that I had sat next to on the flight there, who was there for kind of my emotional time. So it was kind of cool to see him again, and just, I don't know, the whole experience. And then this is about landing in Indianapolis and just the emotion of that. And then this is kind of the response, the way this trip has impacted me and impacted my husband, who wants to travel more. And so kind of an afterword maybe would be a way to think about it. And then this just holds like a lot of random things like receipts and my room key and some things I wanted to keep but didn't really have a place in the album. And then the last page is a layout that Brandy did about me that I loved, and I just thought was so sweet and so cool. So I just included that because it's kind of like from her perspective. So thanks for watching.